Are you thinking about getting your real estate license in Tennessee, but you just don't know where to start? Well, in this video, I'm going to go through a complete step-by-step guide so you know exactly what steps you need to take in order to get your license and get started. My name is Chris. I've been a licensed real estate agent for the past 10 years. I'm also a real estate team leader and coach. I've been able to help hundreds of people get their license and get started with this new career. Before we dive into the video, make sure to check out our real estate license starter kit down in the description below. Everything in this video plus a lot more is inside that guide. I think you'll find it super helpful. Also, in the description down below, you're going to find a link to my favorite real estate school. The reason I like this school is it's affordable, it's flexible, and you get a ton of support. So if you want to check them out, it is an affiliate link, so you're going to be able to access different sales and discounts through that link. So make sure to check that out as well. So the very first step to getting your license is just meeting some of the basic requirements. In the state of Tennessee, you must be 18 years old or older. You must have a high school diploma or a GED, and you must be a US resident or citizen. Another important note is that you must be able to pass a background check. So if there's something on your record that's a little bit concerning, you might want to reach out to the Real Estate Commission ahead of time and have that conversation to see if it's going to hold you back when you go to get licensed. The next step is completing your real estate pre-license education classes. In the state of Tennessee, you're required to complete 90 hours of state-approved pre-license classes. And yes, I know, 90 hours sounds like a ton of time to invest, especially if you have a full-time job or just a busy lifestyle. So the good news is you could do these classes in person or you could do them online. I actually recommend the online option because it's much more convenient and you still get the same access to instructors and all the support that you would want with in-person classes. So I definitely suggest doing online if you need something more flexible and something that is a lot more convenient. Now, in these classes, you're going to learn a ton of great things. These 90 hours are not going to go to waste. You're going to learn real estate law, real estate math, real estate finance. These are all things that you can use when you're out in the field practicing real estate. But there are also things you're going to need to know in order to pass your real estate exam. And that takes us to our next step, which is scheduling and passing your real estate exam. The exams in Tennessee are administered through PSI exams. Now, to schedule your exam, you're going to want to give them at least 24 hours notice, and you can go on their website or you can give them a call. When you get to the testing center on test day, you're going to want to bring a couple basic things. The first thing is a basic non-scientific calculator for the math portion of the exam. You're going to thank yourself for bringing this because sometimes the math questions can get a little bit tricky and you're going to be glad you brought that along. The next thing you want to do is you want to bring 2 forms of identification. This can be a driver's license, a US passport, a debit card, a credit card. Just make sure that you bring 2. Now, once you're into the testing center on test day, you're probably wondering what's on the real estate exam. What is it actually like and what should you expect? Well, the good news is that it's all multiple choice. The bad news is some of the questions are written in a little bit of a tricky way, and they don't do that to trick you. They actually do that to make sure you understand the content and you really have the knowledge to be confident enough to go out into the field and sell real estate and not get yourself into trouble. So make sure to read each question multiple times before you submit your final answer. Believe it or not, most people finish the exam early, so there's no need to rush. Now, the exam itself is broken up into 2 different portions. You have a state portion of the exam and you have a national portion of the exam. You must pass both portions of the exam in order to actually get a passing score and move on to the next step. Now, in Tennessee, a passing score is 70% or higher, and you have to get this on both exams. If you failed the exam, don't stress out too much. There are so many people that have failed the exam the first time around. In fact, I know people that failed the exam multiple times and then they went on to get their license because they didn't quit and they became top producing agents. They're some of the most successful people in the industry that I know. So failing the exam doesn't mean you're going to be bad at this. It just means you need to study a little bit harder and give it another try. Now, if you pass the exam, it's definitely time to celebrate a little bit because we're moving on to the next step and you're one step closer to actually getting your license. From here, the next step is the background check. So in Tennessee, you're required to get a criminal background check, and this is done through the FBI or TBI. And this must be done within 6 months of actually applying for your license. And that takes us to step number 5, which is applying for your real estate license. This is done through the Tennessee Real Estate Commission. Now, in order to do this, you have to do a couple different things. So what we want to do is we want to package up everything we've done so far. So we're going to take the proof that we've done our pre-licensed education that's state approved. We also want to get our passing score to our real estate exam, and then we're going to get our background check information, package it all up, and then send it out with our license application. As of right now, that license fee is about $91. And that takes us to step number 6, which is choosing your sponsoring broker. Now, this step is one of the most fun parts of the process, but it's also one of the most serious parts of the process because at this point, you can make a bad decision. And if you pick the wrong first brokerage, you could set yourself back a long ways. Or you can just put yourself in a position where you end up quitting and failing out of the business altogether. So I want to tell you some really important questions to ask before you actually choose your first brokerage. The very first question to ask is, what kind of mentorship and training do you provide? Now, the first part of that question is about mentorship. I remember when I started as a new agent, I was looking for a mentor so bad, and I got myself into some real estate deals because I was working really hard, and I was just scrambling, trying to find somebody to help me out. So it's super important to find a mentor that's gonna be able to have your back when you get your first clients and when you go through your first couple of deals, because you're really gonna need that in order to feel confident to lead your clients into successful situations. The next part of that question is what kind of classes you have specifically for new agents. Classes for experienced agents and seasoned agents are great, but you want something specific to help you get your business off the ground as a brand new agent. Some of the things that you're gonna learn in the advanced classes might be too far ahead and they might not help you launch your business off the ground as someone that's just starting out. The next question to ask is, how are you going to teach me how to get clients and market my business? Did you know one of the most common reasons real estate agents fail is they can't figure out how to get consistent business and consistent sales? So make sure to ask this question and make sure to align yourself with a brokerage that's going to teach you how to get business in a way that you're comfortable with. Another important question to ask is about real estate leads. If you want to join a brokerage that has teams that provide leads, make sure to ask this question up front. Because if you are brand new and you want to build your business with leads and you might not have a big budget, you might be able to join a real estate team in that office, and you can ask the question if you're able to apply for that real estate team as a new agent. And the last part of the question is about the commission splits and monthly fees. Now, the monthly fees are one thing, and as a new agent, this is something really to watch out for. Some brokerages have no monthly fees. Others have fees of up to a couple $100s per month. And if you're brand new, this can really impact your business in a negative way. Because if you don't have closings coming in on a regular basis, it gets really painful to have to continuously cut a check to your brokerage just to be a part of it. Another part of this question is about the commission splits. Now, this is less important as a brand new agent because I really want you to focus on finding a brokerage that's going to give you the support and mentorship and the training that you need to succeed. Because if you pick the wrong brokerage and you just go somewhere with a really high commission split, at the end of the day, even if you get 100%, 100% of nothing is still nothing. But the best way to ask this question and to weed through all the noise is to say, if I make a $10,000 commission check, how much of that money do I actually get to keep? And how much of that money does your brokerage keep? And this will give you a true answer of what the commission splits are actually like. Now that you have all the steps to get licensed, you probably have some questions. So I'm gonna go through some of the most common questions that I get on a regular basis. The first one is, how much does it actually cost to get your real estate license in Tennessee? Well, I would budget anywhere between $700 and $1,000. And it really depends on what real estate classes you choose, if you upgrade to any exam prep tools, and at the end of the day, what brokerage you decide to go with. But overall, considering the upside of this career, once you get licensed, it's a pretty low barrier to entry. The next question I get is, how long does it actually take to get your real estate license? Well, in Tennessee, you have to complete 90 hours of state-approved pre-license classes. This is going to take a little bit of time, But if you work hard and stay disciplined, I think you can get this done within 2 or 3 months. So to get this up and running, it can be pretty quick if you're motivated. Now, if you want to go at your own pace, you can do that as well. But if you work hard, I think you can get it done pretty quickly. Another common question I get is the real estate exam actually hard? And the reality is the exam is difficult. Many people fail the exam multiple times, and some people just quit altogether because they can't figure out how to pass. But it doesn't have to be that way. There are so many real estate exam prep tools that can help you build that confidence that you need to actually pass the exam. I remember when I was studying for my real estate exam, and I would just sit in front of these textbooks and I would be so bored. It was like the same thing over and over again. And I knew I wasn't retaining the information I need, and I definitely wasn't gaining the confidence that I needed to pass the exam on test day. So eventually I found exam prep tools, and this helped me build my confidence over time through interactively learning on the computer and taking, simulations of what the exam actually looks like. And it would quiz me and it would tell me what I'm doing right and what I'm doing wrong. And this was a total game changer. So if you're not feeling confident about passing the exam, I definitely suggest an exam prep tool. If you want to check out the exam prep tool that I recommend, it's called Compucram. There's an affiliate link down in the description below as well, where you can check that out. So make sure to do that because I think it will help you build your confidence. And the last question I get a lot is, can I do this part-time? And the reality is so many people start out part-time. And that's one of the things that I love about real estate is you can build this the way you want to build it. Some people start out part-time and then transition into full-time. Other people just stay part-time and then also have another part-time job, and they just have a flexible lifestyle. It's entirely up to you the way you want to build this. You can build this into a big income where you help a ton of people, or you can keep it more part-time, have a smaller income, and just help a couple clients per year. The good news is it's entirely up to you. And that's one of the things that I really love about real estate is how flexible it actually is. So if you have other questions, drop them down in the comment section below. I'll get back to you ASAP. Also, if you like this kind of content about starting your real estate career and getting licensed, make sure to subscribe because I have more videos coming out all about this topic. And if you enjoyed the video, definitely smash the like button. I really appreciate it. Thanks again for tuning in.